Good day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into First Take. Thank you for being with us. Stephen A., look at that sport coat. It's a nice one.
How are you?
I like that. I like that a lot. Brian Windhorst,
so
Happy New Year, my friend. Great to see you.
No traffic in L.A. this morning. Stephen A. got right in.
I know, right?
I
It's
got
4 in the
right
morning
in.
out there.
And by the way, Molly, you know, I see the new hairdo. Okay.
All right, guys. Speaking of the West Coast, that's where we're going to tip things off. So the Clippers went into Phoenix, took down the Suns 131-122. Kawhi and PG both put up 30-plus, and Harden added 22. The Clips are running L.A. right now as they sit 9 games above 500, gentlemen. Meanwhile, their City of Angels rival, the Lakers, on the struggle bus. After winning the in-season tournament, the Lake Show is below 500, falling to the Heat last night at home by 14. Here's Darvin Ham on the L.
Doesn't feel so great, but it's not supposed to. You know, and no one, I know me for damn sure, I'll speak for myself. Like, you know, I hate losing. I hate not being assertive, aggressive in terms of attacking each game, whether I'm coaching, playing, whatever the case may be. I'm cringing here looking at the minutes that both Brian and AD had to play tonight, as well as Austin, and you know, it's tough, man. But that's why we get paid what we get paid. We got to figure it out. You know, I'm disappointed, but I'll be damned if I get discouraged.
That's why we get paid what we get paid, because we got to figure it out. Ain't that the truth? Okay, tell me this, Stephen A. Bigger deal the Lakers are below 500 or that the Clippers are 9 games above?
I'm going to say the Lakers being below 500. The reality is that I expected the Clippers to be good. I didn't expect them when they were on that 5-game slide once Harden had first arrived. They seemed to be snowballing. It didn't seem to be what our expectations were, because with Harden, with Kawhi Leonard, with Paul George on the floor, Russell Westbrook being selfless, willingly coming off the bench. It just says a lot about his character. He's been maligned over the years. Russell Westbrook is an energizer bunny, and he comes off the bench and he provides what he provides, showing himself to be the antithesis of what people have said about him over the years. We should be very, very proud of what he's done for that Clippers franchise. It's very underrated. In the case of the Los Angeles Lakers, they are an absolute mess. And as far as I'm concerned, they've got a roster rife with individuals who have betrayed LeBron James. They have betrayed Anthony Davis. They have betrayed Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. And as far as I'm concerned, as I said on NBA Countdown last night, Wendy, you know what? And I know that I joke around about stuff like this because it's Miami and a South Beach and it's Southern California. It's very serious here, and I hope that people understand and treat this with the seriousness that it deserves. There are very few places where everybody wouldn't mind being in the NBA or in professional sports. You know what? If I'm Rob Pelinka, if I'm Darvin Ham, if I'm assistant coach Phil Handy, if I'm Kurt Rambis, Linda Rambis, Jeannie, but pick a name, I grab the vast majority of the players, meaning everyone but Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and I drive them around LA. How you like it? Do you feel this weather? Do you see this sunshine? Do you want to stay here? You want to continue to stay here? Well, guess what? You have to perform in order to do it. And the reason why I emphasize that tremendously so is because when you have LeBron James didn't have a great game last night. We understand that. But for the most part, this brother has been fantastic. Anthony Davis has played like an MVP candidate. He's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's been doing his job. All you have to do is your damn job. And the Lakers have an abundance of players, Wendy, that ain't doing a damn thing. They lucky to be in uniform. They are lucky to be in uniform. I'm telling you right now, they will be put on notice. They're about to be up out of here in L.A. somehow, some way. I'd get rid of some of them. You can't even give away for a box of cookies. It's really that damn pathetic right now. I'd say that's the biggest story.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I agree with a lot of what you said there. I could make the case that one of the most important things that's happened in the NBA so far this year is the surgence of Kawhi Leonard, because that effect on the title race is enormous. You know, it was the Lakers who were the story of last spring when they made that unexpected run to the playoffs. But that could have been the Clippers. They had it falling into place. Kawhi was awesome down the stretch of last season, and then he got hurt in that first or second game of the playoffs. I think they were gonna beat the Suns, I think, before Kawhi got hurt.
Yes,
then he had
I
another
agree.
Then he had another offseason surgery, and you have no idea when he's going to come back. You have no idea. And he actually started the season off, Stephen A., not looking great. In the last 11 games that Kawhi has played, because he missed, he had a hip injury, which I was worried about, because every time you see Kawhi go down, he never has anything on his face, and the next thing you know, like, it's a major injury. He has come back. In the last 11 games that he's played, which basically is where the Clippers have gone from middling to awesome, the Clippers have won all 11 of them. And you know the golden standard for offense in the NBA is shooting 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. It's like the golden triangle. In this 11-game stretch, Kawhi is just missing 60, 50, 90. He is killing it. And there's a lot of things going well for the Clippers right now. Paul George is having an all-NBA season. He's healthy. He looks great. James Harden, after looking very shaky coming over there, has found his role. You mentioned Russell Westbrook being cool with coming off the bench and having his role reduced, okay? Ivica Zubac has been really good as their center. And the last couple times they've played against the Nuggets, now I'm not going to say because Jokic owns this whole league and he's owned Zubac a lot of his career, but the last couple times they've played, Zubac has played well. But it's Kawhi. It's Kawhi that has got this league on notice. Now, having said that,
Right.
what you said about the Lakers is true. We are 35 games into this season. LeBron James and Anthony Davis have basically played almost every one. They've skipped a couple. Anthony has played through a couple of, nagging injuries where he might have sat out in the past. LeBron's playing through illness. He was questionable with illness yesterday. He only scored 12 points. I don't know how it was affecting him. I know he must have been ill watching the team shoot. Anyway, they're 17 and 18, Stephen A. They're below 500 when they've had basically a healthy star situation. That is a problem. That is an indication that this team isn't there. And I know that there's been some injuries, and that's been a frustration for Darvin Ham especially. And I also know that the team is frustrated because Darvin has neglected to go to the lineup that they used as the starters in the run in the playoffs last year, which was LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Jared Vanderbilt. He's really not gone to that lineup very much, and he's sort of been searching. But this is a team that can't shoot. And like last night, the Heat basically played their 19th different starting lineup, and they just zoned. And the Lakers went 4-30. They got real structural problems, and I don't know how they're going to fix them, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't. You don't know how they're going to fix them because listen. They couldn't hit Broadway on a Sunday morning while it's empty. They're just awful. They're just awful. An awful shooting team. Let's just get that out of the way first. But they're not exceptional defensively or offensively, for that matter. So let's remember that Anthony Davis has been exceptional defensively. The rest of the team collectively, what do they rank? Like 21st in their defensive rating, at least coming into last night. Anyway, I'm just looking at it from the perspective. I know Gabe Vincent has been out, obviously, with his knee injury. D'Angelo Russell is just comatose. I mean, it's just second stint in L.A. He's gotten to the point where he shouldn't even be allowed in the city. I'm serious. It's really that bad. What purpose do you serve? So we got to take that into consideration. Let me transition to what you said about the Los Angeles Clippers. I want to give Mr. Podcast P himself, Paul George, some props because when I was on his podcast months ago before the season started, everything he's doing is what he said he would do. And so you know that he's on that kind of mission. You look at James Harden. We got to take a moment to give him props. We know that we don't like how he forced his way out of Houston, Brooklyn, and then obviously Philly. But you see the teammates around him. They're rooting for him. There's camaraderie and chemistry. Oh, by the way, he's balling too and showing a level of unselfishness as well. They look better with him. I already brought up Westbrook, okay? And Kawhi Leonard, I'm not going to sit up here and praise Kawhi Leonard but so much because he's doing what we know he can do when he's on the court healthy. That's what he does. We understand what a superstar is. I still contend, and I just saw him the other day, said hello, just kept walking, didn't want to bother the man, ain't scared of him though. The bottom line is this. This brother is a superstar talent, but he is the worst superstar you could possibly have for two reasons. One, he misses 50% of his games, and two, he does absolutely positively nothing to market his team or the sport. That is the reason. But when he is on the court, he is without question a flat-out superstar who can deliver a championship for you. And I'm at a point in time where I look at him and I say, he owes that to Balmer. He owes that to Ty Lue. He owes that to Lawrence Frank and the rest of the Clippers organization with the headache he has been because of the lack of dependability that he has been able to give them. So I'm not going to get caught up with what I'm seeing him do during the regular season. April, May, and June, where the hell you going to be at? Clippers have never been to an NBA Finals. You going to erase that? Because we have to stop, Wendy, talking about there's two teams. And damn it, it's the Clippers. Okay? The Clippers are usually kicking the Lakers' ass, which they've been doing for the vast majority of the last half decade at the very least. When they lost earlier to the Lakers this year, if Paul George hadn't fouled out, they probably would have lost that game to the Clippers. Okay? The Clippers have owned the Los Angeles Lakers. Right now, they are the better team. They have better personnel. They damn sure could shoot better. They don't necessarily have the better superstar in Kawhi Leonard compared to Anthony Davis and LeBron James the way they're looking. But this is the part that the Lakers need to be very concerned about, Wendy.
Yeah.
You can't continue to play LeBron James and Anthony Davis these minutes. Clearly, Darvin Ham doesn't believe he can win without one of them, if not both of them, on the court. But he's going to have to run them into the ground. They're not going to be in any kind of situation where they can do anything as the season wanes if those imposters wearing a Lakers uniform with them doesn't step up and do their job. They are abusing LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I'm not talking about Darvin Ham. I'm talking about the players. They should be ashamed of their damn selves. They stink. And somebody needs to say it, so I'm saying it.
Well, the Clippers and Lakers are playing in a few days here, and it could be an interesting night. Let's just leave it at that.
That's right.
Yeah, they play Sunday, 9:30, so we're all looking forward to that matchup. Good point there, Wendy. You'll be back with us in just a minute, but now let's